It's third time tea, that's me, and today I'm here to tell y'all a story about a time where I dated somebody that wanted me to be a trophy, or I dated somebody that worked in the office. I don't know what I'm going to title this. Y'all see what it is. I don't really know where this is about to lead. So I'm just going to tell the story. Cool. Basically, let me set the scene. It was not very recent because at the time I was working like 3 different jobs. I had like so much stuff going on, and I was like casually dating, just, because I couldn't put too much time into one person because like I had all of this stuff going on. I'm just like, I'm trying to write some stuff. I'm like, I have all of these different jobs in like different fields because I was trying to see like where I was going to go. Like, where was I going to land? What did I actually like? And so at one of my jobs, I met this guy. He like came over to me and he was trying to talk to me, and he was really pretty, and I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and talk to you because you're just pretty and I like men that be pretty. So I was just like, I'm gonna go ahead and talk to you. So we started texting everything. We was talking for I think like 2 weeks, and then he was like, oh, let me take you out. I was like, cool. And so he already knew where I worked, so he was just like, I'm gonna pick you up from work. I was like, alright, bet. At this job, I kind of had to not like dress up, but I kind of had to like have like clothes on for real. Like, so it already looked like I was going somewhere with the uniform that I had to wear. So he was like, yeah, you basically could just keep that on for real, and we could just go get some drinks or whatever. Like, do you drink? Whatever. At the time, I didn't drink, so I was just like, we can go out though. I eat. One thing I do is eat. I'm always gonna eat, so I'm just like, yeah, we could do that. So we go, and he's really cool. He's really nice. I liked him. He was just like, all right, this date was good. Let's plan the next date. So we went on first date, planning our next date, and everything was fine. Like, he liked to go to new restaurants and stuff like that. So like, that was like one of the things that we did. We just would go to restaurants and just eat and be like, this trash. This right here, that's the one. And we just eat off each other's plates, and we just like, yeah, that one. Like, that's how we would be. Like, that's how it was. So that was our little relationship. Like, we used to just be big bitches, and we used to just be eating. So yeah, that's basically how it was. And after a little minute, he was just like, oh, I want us to exclusively date. Like, I would actually be my girlfriend, but you always act like you so busy, and I'm probably not the only person that you dating, so I'm not gonna try to force you into nothing that you don't want to do. And I'm just like, shut up. And so like, after that, I was like, all right, it's cool, whatever. And so he was like, oh, I'm gonna invite you to this office party that I gotta go to or whatever. It's gonna be a bunch of people there. He like, I'm a manager of a lot of people, so it's gonna be some people that's above me, some people below me, just come, be cute, whatever. We just gonna go to this little thing, and then we gonna leave. I'm like, okay. So I'm thinking it's like an office party type of thing, because it was around like Thanksgiving, Christmas type of thing, and like offices always have like little parties around like the little seasonal like little parties type of things. So I'm thinking like, that's what we going to. That's not what we went to. I was dressed properly for what we went to, but like, that wasn't what I was expecting us to get into. So we basically went to like a board meeting, low key. Like, it was a meeting with all the executives, and then like one of his like kind of assistants type of thing, and whatever. So it was literally only like 2 people there under him, and then like, he had a more important role than I thought he had at this job. And I'm just like, why you ain't tell me I was about to be around all these white men? So like, I was there, I was ready, everything was cool, like, but I was just like, all right, cool, whatever. We at the dinner, I'm sitting next to this lady. She kind of looked like, who can I say? This lady, she kind of reminded me of Pam from off of The Office. Y'all seen The Office, right? And y'all know who like Pam is, Beasley or something like that. So yeah, she kind of reminded me of her. Like, her fit was like that too. Like, she didn't like really dress up. Everybody else seemed to be like more dressed up than her. She kind of looked like she was just going to the office for real. And I sat next to her. She was talking to me. She was like, oh, how long y'all been together? And she was like, wait, never mind. I know how long y'all been together. All he ever do is talk about you, whatever, whatever. And I'm just like, I've been dating this man for like 2 months. I don't know what he done told you, but I've been dating this man for like 2 months. And so I basically was only talking to her because I was sitting next to him and her. And then like the guy at the head of the table, the person that like who company or whatever it was, I guess, he was just like, hey, nice to meet you, whatever, whatever. I want to talk to you after this. And I'm just like, me? Mind y'all, I'm like the only black person at the table. It was like one black guy. And the little mixed guy that I was with, I think he was like, he had a crazy mix. I think he was like Jamaican and Canadian and Italian. But like his skin was lighter than mine, barely. But like, yeah, he had an ultra mix. And then it was like a dark skinned guy that sat across the table. And then everybody else, white. White. And the head guy was just like, oh yeah, I want to talk to you after this. Well, both of y'all, whatever. And so it was like we had the little dinner and like it was a little colder, but he wanted us to like go have a separate table. Like, I don't know, it wasn't nobody really in the restaurant for real. Like, I don't know if they like booked the restaurant, but like we were the only people that was there. And it was a more popular restaurant, like kind of in the middle of the city-ish basically. Like it was a popular place. So I'm just like, where all the people at? And so he took us to another table, and then the waiter came over, opened up a bottle, filled their little cups up and everything. I'm just like, who told you I was old enough? What if I'm a baby? And so they filled their little glasses up, and he was like, oh yeah, cheers, whatever. The three of us talking and everything. And he was just like, yeah, so what type of business are you in? I'm just like, culinary. He's just like, oh, are you trying to start a restaurant? And I'm just like, not necessarily, because at the time I hadn't made up my mind that I hated restaurants yet. I didn't have that in my thoughts yet. I didn't know that I really despised restaurants at the point in time. I was still kind of like on the fence, like, catering, restaurants, food trucks. Like, I'm just looking into everything, trying to see like how I feel. And so he was just like, oh, so you don't want to like be in charge of a restaurant? You don't want to be executive chef or whatever? Like, he told me that you good at this and da da da. And I'm just like, you trying to offer me a deal or something? Like, what's going on? And so he was just like, oh yeah, this guy told me this and that about you. And I'm like, oh, it seemed like he done told you my whole lifestyle and I don't even know who you are. And like his name was like Jeff or something. It like started with a J, like one of the regular ones. Jeff, John, Joe, one of them little joints. And I'm just like, that's all I know about you. I don't even know what your last name is. Like, I didn't even know that I was even going to, like, I didn't know any of these people at the table. I literally just knew him because he was the one that was at the top for him. And then we just talking more about me. I'm like, no, let's talk about you. Because I'm like, you know all of these things and you saying all of this and that. Who are you for real? I'm just like, is that related that was sitting next to you? Is that your wife? I'm just like, are you like, you got kids? Like, what's going on? Because we talking about me. We've been talking about me for 15 minutes. I don't want to talk about me. I want to talk about you. What's up? And so he was just like, oh yeah, I'm doing this and that. I'm dabbling into different businesses and stuff. Like, yeah, I'm the owner of this and I'm the owner of that. Whatever. I'm just like, oh, you the one with the money. And he was just like, yeah, and this is my right hand man. And I'm just like, he tried to act like he was a teeny person at this company, and you acting like he's somebody that's not a teeny person at this company. I'm like, what's even happening here? What are we even talking about? And so basically I found out that like he was like, whatever the one that ain't CEO. He was the next little one. And I'm just like, and then they was about to fire somebody else and he was about to get a promotion and then he was going to be the owner of this building and that guy was going to leave and he started another little thing and da 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 and they doing all of this big shit. And I'm just like, okay. I'm like, bro, I literally only been with this man for like 2 months. I don't know why y'all telling me all the ins and outs. They like, oh, I'm gonna email you this and that. I'm like, and so I'm just like, this is crazy. He's like, oh yeah, because I can mail you this and da da da, all this other stuff. And I'm just like, and so I'm sitting there and he's just like, yeah, so like whatever type of business that you're trying to get into, like I love investing into stuff, and I got the money. Like if you need anything, you can call me, you can text me, da da da, or like if you want to go through him, we can go through him or whatever. But like this my direct number, da da da, whatever. And I'm just like. And so we having the conversations and everything like that, and then the lady that I was sitting next to, she come over. She seemed like she got an attitude, and she like, oh, why y'all over here by yourselves talking and everything? I feel so not included, da da da. And I'm just like, girl, I ain't even asked to be here. I ain't even noticed what this was. I thought I was just going to a little baby office party, and some random person was gonna get drunk and throw up on the floor. Like I'm thinking that it's about to be a whole different type of vibe, and we in here with all the people that got titles, and I don't even know what the business is. I'm like, I don't even know what's going on. I'm just here, vibes. And so she was just like, yeah. And she was like, I see you trying to show everybody up. You came in here with your little dress on and da da da. And I'm just like, girl, you had the opportunity to wear a dress too. You had the opportunity to wear heels too. You actually knew what you was coming to. I didn't know where I was going. I just, came to the front door cute. I didn't know. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. He just told me wear a dress. I wore a dress. We here with it. So she just like, yeah, it seemed like he told me so much about you and you don't know anything about me, so let me tell you, da da da. And she like trying to make herself more important than she gotta be. And then the little man, Joe or whatever his name is, he was like, oh, we didn't come here for that. He was like, thank you though. And I was like, and so she left. She was mad as shit, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. And he was just like, yeah, Stacey want to be more important than she is, and she's never gonna be as important as she want to be. And I'm like, but why though? And they just like, we just don't like her. It's so many other women that is like above her. I don't know why she thinks she just gonna slide in, and like it ain't like we got a woman quota out here, so she ain't never gonna get anything. I don't know why she even thought. And I'm just like, that's fucked up. And then so the other lady came over, and then she was talking with us, and we just was talking with her. And oh, shorty was over there, Stacy, whatever her name is, she was over there mad the whole rest of the night because me and Carol, or whatever the girl name was, Carolina, whatever her name was, we all over there chit-chatting, and we away from the group, and all of them doing whatever they doing. And so eventually, like I find out after some time has passed that Carolina or whatever her name and Joe got a whole little thing, and the lady at the table that was sitting next to him was his wife. So I don't know what they was getting into, but like her kiki keys and her little touches on his shoulder had me very confused, because I'm just like, at the table you was touching other shorty hand, but now we done had 1 or 2 drinks, and it seemed like Carolina is your woman, so I'm confused. But like, that's neither here nor there. So after we get finished talking and everything, because we was over there for like an hour and a half. Like the 4 of us was over there for like 30 minutes, but like we were over there for like an hour and a half. And so we joined the other people again. And then he had like little closing statements or whatever. And then it's like everybody got handed like a little packet or something like that. And then they gonna give me the packet like I belong there. And like literally I was the only person at the table that didn't work at the company, because even his little wife, she was like the secretary or something like that at the company. So like she worked there for real. And so I'm just like, why I got this little paper? And so I took the little paper. I'm just like, I guess. I'm like, I'm gonna go home with my little paper. Like I didn't even know what was going on. I'm just like, is y'all trying to induct me into the little joint? And so he was just like, oh yeah, you can keep the paper or whatever, it doesn't really matter. Like obviously don't just give out paper to somebody, whatever. Like when, like if you decide like you don't want to work with us, just shred it or whatever, or just give it back to me. But like he wants to give you an opportunity to work with us. And I was just like, I don't even know what the business is. The vague terms that y'all were using, like this could be an oil company. This could be anything. I don't even know what's going on. And I'm just like, I literally just been talking to this man, Joe, for like however many minutes, and I don't even know what's going on. So he was just like, yeah, you just look over it. Like once you look over it, you'll know like in more detail, da 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 da. Because it's like the title that he act like he had and what he actually had going on didn't really make sense to me. And then like his job description, like when he tried to describe like what he do, I'm like, shorty, is you in sales? Like I don't even know what's going on. So I'm just like, I don't know exactly what y'all trying to get me into. And nah. And so I'm gonna look at the little paper once I get in the house, but I'm just like, I don't even know what's going on. So I was just like, cool off y'all. And so he's like, yeah, I'm gonna take you home, whatever. So I go home. I'm looking at the little paper. They got like little plans in there for like what they expect to do like in the new year or whatever. Like their first little quarter, their second quarter, da da da. It's just like about the first half of the year, da 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 da, all that other stuff. Obviously, I'm not gonna get no details, but it's kind of old, so it don't really matter because all the stuff already done happened. But like, yeah. So I was just like, okay. So after that, he was just like, yeah, everybody at the table liked you. They really want you to come work with us. Whatever. Mind you, I already told you, I got 3 jobs at this time. I had like 3 jobs. Just like one of the jobs was like my own side thing that I was doing. Like I was cooking for people on the side because I was trying to get like some catering experience on my own with my own purses and doing my own things and just seeing how it worked out. And then also like I was doing like my restaurant job and then like my other job. So it was like I had all of this stuff going on, and I'm just like, I got so much stuff going on. I don't really want to get into what you trying to do. But like I knew it was money there, but certain things I'm just like, bro, I don't feel like being bothered and I don't feel like being stressed out. And then also the fact that I still didn't know what these people was doing, I'm just like, yo, y'all could be some type of scam and then I gotta go to jail because I'm the only black person. They sending me right to jail and they gonna act like it was all my idea. I'm like, I don't got time for that. I'm like, I do not know these people, I do not know this business, and I'm just like, I'm not about to get into it. Like it sounds all good. They just like, oh, come in, have a meeting with us, and then we could tell you more about like what you in particular would do. And then like if you don't want to do that, we could do this, da 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 da. Like Joe wanted me. I don't know what Joe was trying to do, but Joe wanted me. He like, I want you to be around. I like you. And I'm just like, chill. I was like, I don't know what's going on. And so after that, like shorty that I was dating, he was just like, yeah, so even though like you got the paper and everything like that, you still got a lot of questions about that, so da 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 da. I'm like, how about I date you a little bit more and I see how I feel about you in particular, because I'm not trying to be dating you and then we get to working together and then like I get rid of like 2 of my jobs and I'm working with you and then all of a sudden you don't like me, you at the top of the totem pole, you tell them to fire me. Nope. I'm like, yeah, all right. So I'm just like, I'm gonna see how I feel about you first, and then like, you know, maybe me and Joe can talk, maybe me and you can talk, whatever. And he's like, all right, cool. And so yeah, me and him, we continue to date. We still being fatties. We still outside, we still eating, everything's good. We going to all these different little restaurants and everything is tasting amazing. And obviously like he make a lot of money or whatever, so he's like, oh, I'm gonna pay for this, I'm gonna pay for that. We going to all these different places. It would be like, we'd have like overnight trips places, but we would never like go on like big trips far away, like let me catch a plane or something. It was more so like we would drive places like 5 hours away or something like that, or like 2 hours away and do stuff and like be there for like 2 days or 3 days or something like that. Like it would be nothing crazy because they needed him. Like he was the most important person at the job. Like even though Joe was in charge, he was the one that was making all the money. Like he was the one doing everything. Like the other guy was basically just like a figurehead for real, but like obviously like it's his money, it's his business, whatever. So he couldn't go nowhere too long for too far, like whatever. No, he had to be where he was at. So that's basically how it was, and the relationship was cool. But it's just like over time, like I kept on going to like more of these little business little things, and he just kept on wanting me to be there, and I'm like, bro, no, get out of my face. And so then he buying me little dresses and heels and random shit to put on and like get my hair done so I can go with him to these little things. And it's like whenever he had to go to a work thing, he needed me to go. I'm like, well, I gotta go. I wanted to go to a party today, maybe. I didn't want to go to a party. I didn't like to be outside. But I was just like, what if I had somewhere to go? Like, what do you mean? You coming to pick me up at 8 o'clock? You left a box where? Like, no. And so it started getting annoying, but I'm just like, all right, whatever. And so I finally talked to him and like Joe, like 2 months later. He was just like, yeah, like you could just start working here. And like, obviously, like even though we don't know if you're gonna be good at this job, we just start you off at 6 figures because like we got the money and it's cool. I fuck with you, like like we'll make it work. Like if you're not good at that job, we can put you somewhere and you can do that. So I'm just like, yo, I'm just like, I don't really know if I actually want to do this. I'm like, cause I'm younger and I don't know y'all, and this still, like, we had a whole meeting. He's just like, oh, you could be getting paid this and you would do this, like this would be in your job description, like you would do these type of things and da da da. I'm just like, who said I was good at that? Who said I was good at that? And who said I wanted to do that? And like, for how long? And like, what's my time period I gotta work? Am I coming in at 6 a.m.? I'm coming in at 8. Like, what's going on? What time is I'm gonna be getting off? I'm like, y'all got healthcare in this joint? Like, I'm just like, what's going on? But y'all got, I'm just asking all the questions and everything like that. And they giving good answers and everything, but I'm still, like, I'm still younger and I'm still skeptical about a lot of things. And I also am like, I'm trying to discover like what my passion is in life, and I don't really want to get into this and I'll feel stuck and like whatever, or I feel like I need to stay with this guy just because the whole thing with whatever. So basically I ended up quitting one of my jobs. The job that I liked the least, I quit that one. And I ended up doing like some sort of kind of little internship with his job, because I was just like, literally, this job paid me more than all 3 of them jobs combined, obviously. And this job is gonna be way easier. I'm gonna be getting off in the earlier hours, and I'm not gonna have to work on the weekend. So I'm like, this job is clearly better than all 3 of my other jobs, but I'm not trusting no man for nothing. I'm not trusting no man for nothing. So I'm just like, I'm keeping my other 2 jobs. So like, I will only work there 2 or 3 days depending on what my other jobs wanted from me, and that's basically how I did it. And obviously me working there, like, I'm gonna be leaving work when he leave work, we gonna go together, whatever. And so that's basically how it was. I think I was working there for like a month, and then they wanted him to go on this little trip, and the trip was like a company trip, but it wasn't the whole company, because it was like a smaller company, but still they didn't, everybody that wasn't going. It was like everybody on his floor or on his level was basically going. So it was like everybody that was at that table minus like 2 people. And so it was only like 8 of them going, and they was like, oh, they wanted me to come. And so Joe called me like, hey, are you gonna come on a trip? And I'm like, I didn't think I was going because I'm a baby at this company basically. And he was just like, oh, no, you can come. And I'm just like, all right, I guess I'll go. But at the same time, I don't want to be around all these people. Because I'm one of those people that's just like, when I go to work, I go to work. I come to work to make my money, and then I go home. I'm not trying to make no relationships with any of these people. I don't know y'all. Love that y'all are healthy and everything is great with y'all, but I want y'all to stay away from me. I don't want anybody in my business. I'm not trying to talk to anybody about their business. I let everybody be. I want everybody to be safe and healthy away from me. So that's basically how I do every job. Occasionally, I'll have like one person. I have like one person at each job where it's just like, I'm gonna take you with me. When I leave, I'm still gonna hit you up. Like, I might send you a meme or 2. I might text you on your birthday, happy birthday, all that. Just you though, nobody else. And so that's basically how it be. So I'm just like, I'm not really trying to be around all of y'all. And then the fact that it's just like, y'all are the people in charge of everything. Like, if one of y'all want me to be fired, then I'm fired. If one of y'all all of a sudden decides y'all don't like me, I'm going, type of thing. So like, I don't want to be worried about my job security, but at the same time, I'm just like, I kind of gotta go because he told me to go, don't I? I'm just like, he in charge, and he basically asked me to go, so I probably should just be going. And anyway, this was gonna be like the first trip where he was gonna be gone for like more than like 2 days, because as I said, like, all the trips would be like, oh, we going away for like a little weekend, or we going away for like a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It never was like a trip that was more than like 2 or 3 days, but this trip was supposed to be like 5, 6 days or something like that. And it was like during the summer. I'm gonna say it was during summer. It might have been during spring, but I think it was during summer. And he was just like, oh yeah, I'm going on this trip. Joe wants you to come. You should come if you can come. See if you get off work, da da da. It turns out that like one of my jobs was like, not like shut down, but like something happened, like a pipe burst, whatever. So I already didn't have to work for that job. And then the other job was like, yeah, you can have off, like, it don't really matter, you told us in enough time. So they was like, we was gonna go on this trip. It was still somewhere that we could drive, but it was, yeah. So Yeah. And he was like, yeah, I need you to come. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna come. I wasn't really trying to go because, like, as I said, he kept on inviting me to all this stuff, and I kept on having to go to all of this stuff, and it was just like, it's slightly overwhelming just because I don't want to be around these people. Like, as I said, like, it was that one black guy there, and then everybody else. And so they would always just be saying weird stuff to me, and people want to touch my hair and then just stare at me like, why are you staring at me? You ain't got nothing else better to look at, type of thing. And I'm just like, y'all bothering me at this point. Like, I'm not the art in the museum. Leave me alone. Stop looking at me. Why everybody gotta say something to me? I'm like, why all of y'all want to talk to me? I don't have anything to say. And so, like, it's cool if we just doing something like 4 times a year, but they always was having something. It always was a dinner. Like, y'all ain't got no friends? Y'all don't want to go home to y'all wives? Because it was like nobody girlfriend was there but his. It was just me. And so I'm just like, bro. And then it was only like 3 women that, like, out of all like 10 other people or whatever that was at their original thing, only 3 of them was women. And they, like, the one was his side piece and the other one was his wife, and then it was shorty that one of the raised that was never getting it. And so it was just those 3 women there, and then the rest of them was just men. And I'm just like, why y'all always want to talk to me about something? And they always wanted to know my political views and like what I thought about certain things. And I'm just like, this is the type of stuff I don't like to talk about with people at work. Cause y'all gonna make me not like y'all, and y'all gonna get on my nerves, and I don't want to hear it. And I don't want anybody trying to justify their views. It don't matter what I think about what you do at night, what you do at home. It don't matter if I like it or not. Like, we don't have to have an argument or a deep discussion about it. Like, y'all can talk with him. This y'all buddy. I don't really know y'all like that. And so that's basically how I felt about the whole situation. So I'm just like, I don't really know what you're trying to get into, but no. And so that's basically how it would be. Like, every single time he brought me to an event, everybody trying to get me alone at the table. Why everybody want to talk to me? And so I'm just like, yo, no. And then he just like, yeah, so Tisha is here. Like, I know that y'all want to talk to her. I brought her with me. Da 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 da. Ooh, look at this thing that I have. Like, bro, leave me alone. And so I'm just like, yo, this is so annoying. And so I knew that trip was just going to be an exaggerated version of that, because it was going to be days and days of us being together. And I'm like, we basically got to go to sleep with these people. Like, and they wanted, it was like a cabin in a woods type of thing, like low-key like camping type thing. So I think it was spring. But yeah, I'm just like, bro, I don't want to do this with these people. But I was like, I'm going to go because this is my job now and I got to interact with y'all. And so I went. And we driving over there. It was the 2 of us in the car. A lot of them carpooled together. I think they had like 2 vans, and they all came together. And it was like 5 of them in one little van, and then like 5 of them in another little van. And it was like 2 of them. No, 1 of them brought their wife, and then the rest of them, it was just the people that worked there. And so then it was us 2. And yeah, the one guy brought his wife because apparently she just like, if you don't take me, you can't go, because she think that he was cheating with Caroline, and he might have cheated with Caroline because everybody was in Caroline. But it's not here nor there. This story not about Caroline. But yeah, so she was just like, nah, I ain't letting you around Freaky Caroline. I'm coming, whatever. So she came, and she was cool. She was black. She was cool. She was somebody's wife. And I talked to her during the first day, but then after that, I didn't really talk to her like that because it was just so much going on that everybody always was trying to talk to me. And so we had the dinner like the first night or whatever. And when we had a dinner the first night, I think him and somebody else cooked. And I think like most of the other days they had like catering people. I think that they cooked just because they was trying to show that they can cook. And they was trying to be cute. But like they had like a chef there the other days. Like some guy came and cooked like all of the other days. It was like 2 different guys. But yeah, so it was like a guy that would come in the morning and do lunch and breakfast. And then the other guy, he'd come do dinner and like late night snacks, whatever, like the other days. But on this first day, it was just them and they cooked. The food was solid for real. Being a fat, obviously he should know how to cook, because if you want to eat so much, you should know how to cook, right? And he always eating, so I'm just like, you need to learn something. And so he knew how to cook, and the other guy, he was good at like barbecuing and stuff like that. And so like he put something on the grill, and so we had some food off the grill, and that was good. And then he made like the little vegetables and the sauce and da da da, and it was good. So we ate. And after that, he was just like, yeah, I made this meal for everybody to enjoy. And then I also brought Tisha for everybody to enjoy. And I said, what you mean by that? I was like, what did you mean by that? I don't know. What? And so I didn't like that, because I'm just like, hey, hold up. I'm in here with all these type of people, and you don't say that to them. Because I don't know what type of time y'all on, but I'm the only poor person in the room. And I'm one of the only black people in the room. Don't say shit like that in front of me. I will stab everybody. I'm like, hold on, because we in the kitchen right now with it. So yeah, I was just like, don't say that. And so he was like, ha ha ha. I'm like, bro, no, because you mixed. You might identify with your white people. You might identify with them. You might not identify with me and this one other guy. Because me and the other guy had inside jokes, and me and him was cool. And I was like, hey, look, nuck if they buck. I'm not playing. I know these your mans and shit. I know y'all work together, but look, you gotta be on my side. I don't know these people, and I don't know what type of time they on. Like, no, And so I was like scared for my life when he said that. I was like, my heart beating, I'm sweating. I need to go outside. But I'm like, also, I don't want to leave y'all to be talking about me when I leave. So I'm gonna stay in here. I'm staying here with y'all. And so after that, I was on edge because I ain't like that. And we all talking and everything, and everybody's just like, oh yeah, let's get in the jacuzzi or something like that. I'm like, letting y'all see me and no bathing suit. And then at the time, I didn't even wear two pieces anyway, and I like to wear my little the little thing around your little body, like I'm covered up. I'm like, but I was like, I'm not getting in no jacuzzi with y'all. I was just like, I'm okay with the people soup. I'm like, y'all just in there bowling. I'm alright. I don't want to be in there with y'all bowling. Like, y'all like a bunch of little raw pieces of chicken inside the just boiling. I said, I'm not doing that. Like, if y'all wanted to get in the pool, we could get in the pool, but I'm not getting in the jacuzzi with y'all. So, yeah, I didn't get in. And I sat inside. It basically looked like segregation because all the black people was inside watching something on Netflix or whatever. And then all of them, they was out there inside the little jacuzzi touching each other and stuff. I'm like, what type of party is this? But like, we was inside cooling. Like the four of us, it really was segregation. The four of us was inside the house watching something on Netflix, and then the rest of them was out there in the jacuzzi. And I'm just like, And so we all talking and everything like that, because like at that point I think it was 12 of us. So yeah, they was bunched up inside the jacuzzi because only the 4 of us was in there, and then all 8 of them was in there. And so I'm just like, okay, like, and so I said something to him about it, because I'm just like, well, it's just y'all in here. I trust y'all ain't gonna say nothing. Why did you say that in front of them people? I'm like, why would you say you bought me for them in front of them people? What type of time was you on? Like, what are you trying to say? Like, what's going on? And he was just like, no, it's just everybody asked, like, if you could come. Like, each of them individually came up to me, asked me, was you gonna come? Everybody wanted to talk to you. Everybody wanted to be around you. They said, like, you a good time, da da da. I'm like, don't call me a good time. I don't like that either. I'm like, it's just too much going on. And I was just like, yo, just let me know if you identify with your Italian roots. Let me know if you identify with your white side. Like, are you Jamaican or are you Italian? I'm like, obviously you both, but like, do you identify in the middle, or do you lean more towards one side? Let me know, because I'm not playing with you. And so he's just like, no, it wasn't like that. I think you just took it the wrong way. I'm like, bro. I'm from Park Heights. I don't know where you are from, but I'm from Park Heights, and please do not play with me like that. So he was just like, no, like, you good. Like, if anything happened, like, I'm with you. We can go at any point in time you ever feel uncomfortable, whatever. I'm like, yo, that's what everybody say. But I'm just like, I'm not trying to be on the news, like, good or bad, whether I live or not. I'm not trying to be on the news. I'm not trying to be on the news because somebody put me inside the jacuzzi and they shut the top, and then I bowled. I don't want to be on the news because I got a case going. Like, I don't want to be a part of any of that. So I'm just like, please, for my sake, don't put me in no dumb situations, okay? Like, don't tell people you offering me up. Like, that's crazy. And so he was like, okay, like, I didn't mean for it to be any type of miscommunication or taken the wrong way, da da da. I'm just like, And it's just like, other than that, like, he didn't really do nothing. Like, he wouldn't do weird stuff, but it was just like, we kind of just lived 2 different types of lives. And like going to the little parties and being cute and whatever, like it's cool sometimes. Like I don't want to do that all the time. And like at the job, it was like they was having me do random regular stuff. Like I wasn't like the person that went and got people coffee or whatever, nothing like that. And it wasn't like I was the secretary or anything, because like literally his wife was already doing that. They really just had me doing random dumb stuff. Like I printed up some papers. Like I printed papers, and whenever something needed to be taken to somebody, like, oh, take this next door, and then I would just take something next door, and they was just giving me all of this money for me to do nothing. Like I literally would just be in there, and they were like, oh, let's go chill in the break room, and then I'd just be chilling in the break room for like an hour away, but and then I'd just go back to his office, and then he'd be like, oh yeah, stay in here with me, I'm gonna have this call, just be there, type up like what the person is saying. Like I'm like one of the little people in court where they just type up like all of the things that were said by the client on the side and all the things that were said by that person and da 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 da. And so he just put the call on loud, and then I'm just, and y'all, I'm not even good at typing for real. So I'm like, why are you letting me of all people do this? And so like literally I did not belong in there. But yeah, so my job really wasn't that hard, so I kind of was trying to keep my job because I'm like, I'm making money and I don't really do nothing. I be coolin' for real. I'm like, I like this job for real. I just don't like having to communicate with these people all the time. But that basically was my job. My job was basically just a kiki and a ha 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 with people. Like, y'all got me on payroll to a kiki and a ha 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 with people. Okay, cool. And so like, and that's basically how it was. And so when we was at this, when we were still here, like 2 days had went by. Then like when the chef had cooked like that second night or whatever, they was like, oh, we should all get dressed up and meet inside the little room, because it was like it was like the place where we were staying was like big, and so it was like kind of like not like a ballroom, but like a second living room that was just big, and it just had like a big table in there and everything like that, but it was like all this space around it, and it's like flowers, whatever. It was just extra. It was like a place where you could like have a rehearsal dinner for like a wedding or something like that. That's basically was the vibes. And so we went in there and we all dressed up and we all sat around the table. Everybody talked about like what they wanted to do in their future and like how everybody planned to help everybody reach their goals and all of that stuff. And then when it came time for me to talk, I'm just like, I'm like, I don't even know what I even want to say. And then at this time, I still was unsure about where I wanted my career to go or like how I felt about certain things. So I'm just like, yeah, I'm just happy that y'all hired me and that I'm getting to know each one of y'all. Y'all are cool. Like, fuck with me if you fuck with me. Like my little speech was like real low, because like everybody talked for like 15 minutes and I'm just like, I could give y'all a cool 10. I could say a couple things that don't mean nothing but sound good. I got you. I could put that together. And so that's what I did. And then like they took a couple of things that I said a little bit too seriously. Now motherfuckers trying to get into business with me. I'm just like, hey, I ain't signing up for that. And so motherfuckers sending me business proposals and stuff like that. So, and so like after that, like that was like the last like major thing that happened at the little thing, because like the last 2 days or something like that, we kind of just all split up and did different things. Like some people like went like roller skating or something like down the way, because it was like kind of in the forest, but like you could get to the city kind of fast or something like that. And then some people, they went to like go fishing or something, like I don't even know. But yeah, it was like a lot of stuff in that area, and so everybody did their own things. And me, the one black guy and the guy that I was with, all three of us, we just decided to stay in the house, and like everybody else, they really went outside and did other things. And so we coolin' and we talking, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm not going on no more trips like this. I'm just not. And so he's just like, why are you not gonna go on no more trips? Everybody's having a great time. Everybody loves you. Da, da, da. I'm just like, bro, I ain't signed up for this. And I'm just like, and I'm young, and all of y'all older, and I don't feel like being a part of this. But I was trying not to be rude or anything, because I'm just like, I appreciate you giving me like the time and the space to like learn more about myself and like this, you know, area, and like trying to help me like further my career if I wanted to own something, and put me in contact with people and da da da. But like I know for myself like what I want at this point, or like I'm getting closer to knowing what I want, and I don't want to do this shit. I'm ready to quit. And so he was just like, oh no, like stay, da da da. And then like the older black guy, like he was older than I think like most of the people there. He was like granddaddy age. All of them was like daddy age. He was granddaddy age. I think he was like 62 or something. And he was just cool. He was like a cool uncle for real. Like he just was very protective and very kind, and like he was like somebody that I felt like I could trust and I could talk to. I'm like, you cool for real. And so he was cool, and talking to him was cool. And so he was just like, yeah, just don't cut ties in a nasty way. Like you might run into these people in the future, and you might need one of these people in the future, or like be able to use like your connections in the future with one of these people and everything like that. Keep everybody number, just be cool with everybody. I'm not telling you should stay here, because if you don't want to be here, don't be here. Because if you be somewhere you don't want to be, you're going to end up cutting ties in a nasty way, and you don't want to do that, and da 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 da. Like real grandfather. And so he was real cool. I'm just like, yeah, I see what you're saying. Like I'm not like a type of person that get into drama or like stay places that I don't want to be for too long. Like I'm not going to be nowhere I don't want to be for more than a year. I'm out of here. Sorry, deuces. Like that's what I'm going to do regardless. So that's basically how it was. And so since I felt like that, I talked to him and I talked to the guy that I was with. I was just like, I'm gonna stick around for like a little bit more, because I don't want them to think that me coming on this trip is the reason why I'm not gonna be here with no more. So I don't want it to seem like that, because then they might be a little salty about it. But I'm just like, low-key going on this trip made me not want to be around y'all no more, because I'm just like, y'all always like, y'all weird. Y'all just weird. That's all I gotta say. Y'all weird. I don't want to be around it. So we get back, and after we get back, me and him still dating, and I still was working at the job on my 2 little days, and everything was cool. Then Joe and Caroline got caught by the wife, because she came in to like tell him something, like somebody canceled or whatever. And then like Caroline was in there like leaned over, titties out, like everything like that. So I hear the wife going off. I'm like, oh shit. And so like being as though my job is to do nothing, I just ran out, because I'm just like, oh my gosh, wait. And so the wife just like, I can't believe you, da da da. So I pull her back, because I'm like, she better beat Caroline the fuck up, because she was one of them ones. She looked like she knew how to fight. And so I'm just like, yo, she ready to beat you up. She ready to pick up a desk chair and launch it at your head. So I'm just like, let me get her out of here. And so I pull her back. I'm like, hey, look, you already know how this shit go, whatever. I'm talking to her, because like I'm younger, so I haven't experienced nothing crazy like this. But I'm still just like, men gonna be men. You gotta make sure you leave a situation better than how you got into it. And you beating her up and beating him up, that's not gonna get you what you want. So I'm like, we need to settle down, and we need to collect ourselves and forgive him momentarily, just so that you can get out of the situation better. Because you beating them up, you going to jail. You going to jail. You beating up the CEO or some company or whatever, you going to jail. And you ain't gonna get no money. And you finna be poor, and you ain't gonna have no job. So I'm just like, let's think logically, because he the one that's signing your paychecks. And so she was just like, you right. And I'm just like, yep. And so me and her leave the little break room, and she just go home. She go home and she do some crazy things on the side. She ain't violate like nothing for real. Like she ain't break nothing crazy. They didn't have no kids together. Like I don't know if she was infertile or something, but like they had been together a while and they didn't have no kids together. So I was just like, and so she basically just got all of her things that like weren't visible things, and like took all of her stuff to her sister house, cousin house, something like that. And then like she slowly like got all her stuff and took all his money and all of that other stuff on her own on the low, and he didn't notice. Like she was just slowly just taking things and he just didn't notice. I found that out later on, but yeah, she listened to what I told her to do, for real. she listened to what I told her to do. I was just like, bro, because you can't just go off on him. Like that's not gonna work. Like you see him, you know where he is, you know his personality. That's not gonna work. You gonna be the one that's poor on the side of the road asking people for change and hoping that you can possibly get over what done happened to you. Traumatized. And so she basically took my advice. I ain't tell her to steal from him, but the other stuff she listened to what I said. And so yeah, that's basically what happened to her. So then after she had left, Caroline or Carolina or whatever that was in there, she was just like, I didn't want that to happen like that. Try to act like she was the victim or something like, oh, y'all know how Joe is. And I'm just like, girl, you just be opening them legs. And so yeah, and basically it just was a whole mess. And then the guy that I was dating, he was just like, yeah, like over time, like she just started doing all this stuff and like coming on the trips and all that other stuff. And like after a certain point, I think they just ended up dating or whatever. But I wasn't gonna say anything. It's not my place, and I'm not in charge of the company, and I'm not getting fired just because I done told his wife that he cheating. So I just let it rock. I didn't think that they was gonna be doing that in the office because she literally across from the office. Like, yeah, the door is shut, and yeah, you can't see unless you open the door. But why you ain't lock the door? So me and him just like, why you ain't lock the door? But like, yeah, so it was just a bunch of crazy mess. And so after that whole thing, I just left too. I'm just like, in the scuffle, I'm gonna leave too. Cause like she came in the next day for work, cause that was like a Thursday. She came in the next day for work, low key wilding for real. Like she came in, she did her job for like an hour. Then she was in the break room with me for like an hour. Phone ringing, ain't nobody answering the phone. So I leave the break room. I'm like, hello, like dumb shit. Cause I'm like, bro, you ain't even doing your job. She like, what he gonna do? What he gonna say to me? What he gonna say to me if I don't do my job? Because all I'm going to do is cuss him out because he decided to cheat on me yesterday. So what he going to say to me? And so she basically was bugging and not doing her job. And so I was like, okay. But then she finally was like a week later, she was just like, all right, y'all, I'm done. Whatever. I'm not coming back. I'm a stay-at-home mom with no babies. And so that's basically how she was. And he just let her do it because he didn't want her to like leave him, but she left anyway. But he didn't want her to leave him, so he was just like, all right, whatever. Because she was like, I'm not about to be in the office with this lady that literally just was doing all this other stuff to my husband the other day. So that's basically how it was. And so when she was like, my last day today, I said, and faded out into the darkness. Like, I was like, me too, sorry, y'all. And everybody's just like, oh my gosh, we got to have a party for you because you leaving. I'm like, y'all didn't apologize or try to confront this lady or be sweet to her or say sorry or say y'all didn't know or anything. Like, she just in here and she just felt alone, and I'm the only person that was nice to her. Why? Y'all know this lady. I done known this lady for a couple months, and y'all known this lady forever. Y'all fucked up. I'm like, y'all terrible. And so yeah, then I had quit when she quit. Cause she was cool. I'm like, y'all gonna lose both of us. I ain't coming in this joint. And so I was gone, and then he still was trying to invite me to parties and stuff like that. Me and him was still dating, but I was just like, bro, I'm not coming anymore. So then like he basically was just like, I can't go to the party if I don't bring you with me because everybody expecting you to come. Like, you worked with all of these people, you know they like you, da da da. Complaining. I'm just like, bro, I'm like, bro, if you don't leave me alone. And so like him constantly begging me to go to these parties made me mad, and I didn't want to talk to him anymore. So he was just like, all right, you don't got to go to those parties, but go to these other parties with me. Cause like he had like a bunch of like, not like he had a bunch of little rich friends, but like the people he went to college with, like a couple of them had their own businesses and stuff like that. And all of them was like pretty successful in their fields or whatever. And so he wanted me to start going to those parties with him. Like I already had went to a couple, but it was just like, he just wanted me to transfer my duties over. He was just like, all right, you was doing half and half. Now you don't want to go to those ones at all. How about you go to all of these ones with me? Da 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 da. Buying me random stuff to wear to these parties. Like, oh, this go with this. Da da da. Whoop, 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 whoop. I'm just like, bro, am I just here to be your plus one to everything? Then I had to go to like 3 weddings. And I'm just like, bro, this is a job. I need to be getting paid. I need a salary for this. I'm like, cause you just got me here. Now I'm talking to all the wives about their babies and everything, and I don't have a baby. But like, I can relate because I got 12 brothers and sisters, but I'm just like, like, yeah, I done raised these babies low key, these little ones that I got my nieces. I'm like, I got a couple of things to say. I never had childbirth, like it's different. But I'm just like, I can relate with y'all, I guess. Like, oh my gosh, soccer practice is crazy. Like, and so I'm like talking to them and everything, but I'm just like, this is not really a world that I can really relate to. Like, I'm not a stay-at-home mom. Like, I go to work. I be outside with it. Like, I be having 12-hour shifts and shit. Like, I be doing so much. So I'm just like, yeah, it's cool and everything. But he just wanted me to just be on his arm all the time. And I'm just like, bro, I got my own friends and my own things that I'm trying to do. My life do not revolve around you. And I don't really want it to. I'm just like, you cool. I like you. But, like, you're not my person. And I realized that you weren't my person a little minute ago. So I'm just like, yeah, I'm a pass. Like, thank you for everything. And you're great. Ooh, yes. But I was over it after a certain point in time. Because, like, that's not what I came here for. Like, so yeah. Moral of the story is, you don't have to be somebody trophy. Just be your person. Just be whoever you are and do whatever it is that you want to do. Don't let nobody dictate what you're going to do just because they think that you should be doing a certain thing. Okay? That's the moral of the story. Because everybody always wants to see a vision for you or want you to do a certain thing. But if that ain't what you want to do, you ain't got to do that. Because at the end of the day, when you go, they don't go. Like, when you got pee, they don't gotta pee, okay? Like, when you hungry, they not hungry. Like, you are your own person and you are in charge of you, and you are the person that gotta make sure that you're good. And you don't want to be stuck in something that you don't have to be stuck in, okay? So just make all your own choices. That's just the moral of the story, okay? Like, I like where I'm at now. I love it, in fact. Like, I'm happy with where I live. I'm happy with my job. I'm happy with my relationship, and everything is just great and beautiful and everything. I don't think I would be where I am now. I really wouldn't if I would have just stayed in that relationship with him, because he really was trying to make me do something I did not want to do. And part of that was like going to these dumbass parties. Boy, leave me alone. But like, yeah, I just got to expand my relationships with the people that I actually care about more once I got out of a relationship with him, because I had more time on my hands. Like, having all of those jobs and then also having to go to all these little silly little parties with him, and then still working and doing all this other stuff. It was just like, it was just so much going on. And like, just trying to discover where it was that I wanted to be. Like, I couldn't do what I wanted to do being with him. And so it was good that I stopped talking to him. But like, he's great. Like, if he texts me, I'm gonna text back like, hey. And then I probably won't say anything after that. But yeah, that was it. Trophy Tisha, like, really not doing anything. I really could have quit all my jobs and just been cooling with him. I really could have. Like, but I did not want to do that. I did not want to do that. Oh my gosh. I didn't tell you every single detail because that would be crazy. But things ended how they ended for a reason. But yeah, so for me, Storytime Tish Daddy is over. Peace and love.